From Cara Stadium in Alliance, Ohio, it's time for the second round of the NCAA Division III playoffs, Mount Union and Muhlenburg. Hi, everybody. Jeff Shreve along with Harry Paytas. Welcome to Alliance. And, Harry, we feature two coaches today who have been down this road before.
Oh, they really have. These two coaches have met each other. In fact, Nate Millen, the head coach of Muhlenburg in his 8th season, has been here twice, and he's given Mount Union quite a battle. And, of course, he got the Mules back in the playoffs again this season. Jeff Dart on the other end for Mount Union, undefeated in the OAC in his 6th season, and he knows Muhlenburg as well because these two teams have met a couple of times, and I'm sure he's been looking at some film as well. So let's take a look at the highlights from the last time they met, 2021, where it was DeAndre Parker scoring first for Mount Union, just getting across the goal line. And the Mules, though, really had it together in that first half. They were able to stop Mount Union in the red zone, but they scored some touchdowns of their own. In fact, a couple here gave them a 21-9 lead at one point in this ball game before Josh Petroselli broke off a big run and cut into that Muhlenburg lead as Mount had to come back in this contest. And Petroselli had a big day by scoring that touchdown and this touchdown as well, going across the goal line and pulling Mount Union close to Muhlenburg in this one. And here is the touchdown for Muhlenburg late in the game. 2-point conversion tied the game and sent it into overtime. Muhlenburg couldn't convert in the overtime in their first possession, but it was Braxton Plunk throwing to Derek Harvey in OT to seal the win.
Muhlenburg won the toss. They elect to receive. That means freshman Connell Rafferty out of Macedonia, Ohio, will get us underway in this second round playoff. And same field, same temperature. We're missing the sunshine, but we expect the same number of points here.
I think so. These two teams really can score, as they did in 2021, as we saw. And then look at the flag. I thought the wind would be a factor just looking at the forecast the last few days, but right now, not much of a factor.
Here's the approach. Today's Division III second round game is underway, and it will be Christopher Short on the return. He'll slide to his left and get himself pretty good field position out over the 25 at about the 28-yard line.
Well, the Mules feature Luke Spang as their quarterback. They have used Dante Mahaffey during the season, but Spang took over the job. Mahaffey does a little bit of running, a little bit of a wing back, and now it does look like maybe it is going to be Mahaffey starting.
Mahaffey, 1,000-yard passing, and he is their leading rusher. He also was on the kick return team, a converted linebacker, so he's done a little bit of everything. And he'll hand off. This is Matthew Manning, senior running back. And he is going to get over the 35-yard line to about the 36 or 37. Good gain on first down.
Yeah, especially they want to feature the run so they can set up their pass. This is a team that likes to pass, but they have done pretty well in their running game as well. The two teams, you look at their statistics, and they're pretty close in terms of the balance that they like to have. If they can establish the run early, obviously that'll help their passing game. And Mahaffey is the quarterback, a little bit of a surprise.
Play action, he'll roll. First pass of the day is on the way, and it's incomplete. The Souls was the intended receiver, the freshman rookie of the year in the Centennial Conference.
Let's take a look at the offense for Muhlenburg. They go with wide receivers Mac Pasols and Runfolo. Then tight end is Ref. Then up front it's Powell, Monroe, Terreros, Hardin, Roush, and their running back Manning, Mahaffey at the quarterback spot.
Bill Mahaffey, 3rd and 1. Game's opening drive. Long snap count. Play action. Now he'll hand off. This is J.R. Wally.
Close.
He's very close to a Muhlenburg first down.
Let's look at that Raider defense coming up. He's going to be short, by the way, as this Raider defense might be tested early with Logan, Bowden, Ganelli, Brown, Reinert, Cruz, Arthur, Thrasivulu, Liebler, Nye, and Cooper. 4th and less than a yard, and they're going for it.
Nate Millen will roll the dice first in this playoff game. 4th and 1. Mahaffey will pull it out. He rolls. He'll keep it. He's got first down yardage. He's got the sideline. And first and 10, Muhlenburg at their own 46.
And that happened because Aiden Mack, a tight end, threw a nice block. And that allowed Mahaffey to get the corner and pick up the first down.
Mahaffey taps out. Luke Spang now in at quarterback, sophomore from Allentown, which is where Muhlenburg is located.
Spang's numbers, there you see him, 114 for 182.
Handoff goes to Manning into Mount Union territory.
So Manning's had a couple of nice openings here early, and he's taken advantage of it. Picked up another 7 there. Picking up 9 on his last carry.
Second down, 2 yards to go. Game's opening drive. Spang goes to the air, he connects. Runfellow has a first down as he scoots out of bounds at the Mount Union 41.
Runfellow, just a quick out. Spang able to hit him. Good timing there, and first down as the Mules moving the ball. They wanted the ball, they won the toss, and decided to keep the ball to begin this ball game and taking advantage of it. That's exactly what you want to do. Runfellow with 41 catches, 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns coming in, so we'll be seeing a lot of him.
It's Mahaffey on first down. Runfellow on the end around, and he's dragged down by Keenan Cruz, Mount Union senior linebacker out of Lutz, Florida.
Great job by Cruz to read that one and get the penetration he needed to keep him from turning the corner. Solo tackle there by Cruz.
Muhlenburg doesn't let you celebrate a good defensive play. They're right back at it. And Spang will roll, throws on the run. It's almost intercepted. Weston Arthur, Mount Union linebacker, wishes he had a mulligan on that one.
Yep, he had a couple of hands on it, but it was a little high, but he was able to knock it away from an open receiver and makes the big play there, third down. We'll look at it again. Had his hands on it, couldn't pull it in. He's a good one. Weston Arthur, 63 tackles, 3 for loss, half of a sack. He's all over the field.
3rd and 9. Luke Spang is the quarterback. Straight drop. He's got plenty of time to look it over. Now the pocket collapses, and Logan almost had him, and he almost threw another interception. Gavin Earhart, freshman from Avon, had a pick 6.
Yeah, he did. In fact, I think he was so surprised this ball was thrown right to him, and all Spang was trying to do was get rid of it because he was under pressure. Yeah, Parker Logan supplying the pressure and almost gets the pick, but now it sets up a 4th down and long enough that Muhlenburg is going to try to pin Mount Union deep.
Sam Morris, freshman punter from Summit, New Jersey. Mason Ashby is at the 10-yard line awaiting the punt. High end over end. Fair catch made at the 10-yard line.
So the Mules, they moved the football, but just couldn't get it close enough to where they got into four down territory, but give Mount's defense credit. They tightened up when they needed to. Mikey Maloney, the quarterback, he comes in with some nice numbers. 158 for 229, 2,237 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Plus, he does run the football. 49 attempts for 391 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
8 yards per carry for your quarterback. He was named the Ohio Athletic Conference Offensive Back of the Year. He'll start on his own 10-yard line. Handoff with room over the 20 and a first down. Mount Union in the arms of Darnell Williams, the graduate student from Cleveland, 1,000-yard rusher for Mount Union.
Good start for the ground game. And again, Mount, just like Muhlenburg, wants to establish that ground game to set up their very good passing game. And Darnell Williams breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage, picks up a first down.
22-yard line. Williams, 100.4 yards per game. First pass from Maloney, connects with Nick Turner. And Turner is over the 35 to about the 37, senior from Dallas, Texas. The leading receiver for Mount Union sets them up.
Let's take a look at that Mount Union offense. It's a prolific one at that. The receivers are Turner, Grant, and Cockrell. The tight end is Steele. Up front, it's Favre, Kennedy, Lavelle, Fortner, and Coffey. Williams, the running back, and Mikey Maloney, the quarterback.
2 snaps, 2 first downs for Mount Union. They started on their own 10. And the handoff to Williams, again through the line. Picks up another 5.
And defensively, Muhlenburg looks like this. Schaefer, Rispoli, Curry, Newman, Cerruti, Elliott Lopez, Sylvester, Souse, Europe, and McLean. Mount moved the ball quite well in its first possession from the 5-yard line. Here we go.
Maloney will swing that out to Williams. Makes the catch, and he's out of bounds near the first down marker. It will be a first down at the 49 of Mount Union.
Mount's mixing it up as Muhlenburg did on its first possession with the run and the pass. Here he just dumps it off to his running back. Mount possesses so many weapons in its passing game, with its running backs as good receivers as well. And a lot of good receivers and some excellent tight ends.
That's Turner in motion on 1st and 10. Williams gets the call again into Muhlenburg territory. Gain of 3.
Muhlenburg got good penetration on that play, and the hole just wasn't there. As a result, Williams had to improvise. But he did pick up positive yardage in the Muhlenburg territory.
Well, you mentioned the left side of that Mount Union line. Favre and Kennedy, first teamers in the conference.
It's a veteran group.
Right tackle Mitch Coffey, second team All OAC. A veteran line. First drive for Mount Union. And they are in Muhlenburg territory. Second down. Here's a nice pass to a wide open Nick Turner for another first down. He is out of bounds inside the 30.
So they had Turner across the middle on his first reception, and this time he went to the left side. Maloney had the time, and he zinged it right in there over some linebackers. Turner, as we mentioned, one of the top receivers, 43 receptions, 586 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He leads the team in receptions. Davion Grant leads in touchdowns and yards. We haven't heard from him yet. Williams stuffed at the line. Nicely done. Vincent Rispoli, the nose tackle. Help from Peyton Elliott.
That was an excellent play because Mount had something going there. Watch this fake by Maloney. It looks like he's going to hand it off on a sweep to Turner, but he gives it to Williams, and everybody stayed home from Muhlenburg.
Gain is 1, 2nd down 9.
Mount's in 4-down territory. They stay inside the 30, obviously.
Turner in motion again. Maloney with time. Turner is wide open in the flat. He's got the 25, and they force him into the Mount Union sideline.
Well, a good recovery there by Muhlenburg. Once the ball got out to Turner, there were 4 white jerseys and no blockers ahead of Turner.
3rd down 7. Union's kicker Yvonne Marich, first team all conference. He has a 47-yarder this year and owns the Mount Union record, 51 yards. He tried a 61-yarder last week.
Yes, it did.
3rd and 7. The handoff, and Williams stopped short of the 20-yard line.
That was actually Thomas on the carry.
Correction, Sean Thomas, who has been out for a handful of weeks. to see him back on duty.
So he got the Raiders in a 4th and short situation. Looking to the sideline to see. I think Mount's going to roll the dice themselves here. 4th and 3.
Muhlenburg went for it on 4th and 1 and converted. Mount Union a little longer, 4th and 3. Ron Thomas is the setback. Maloney will keep, he'll roll, pitches it out to Grant, first down as he's upended near the 10.
So Mount goes with the pass. They faked it in the middle to Thomas, and Davion Grant got free. Enough for the first down, and the drive stays alive. Boy, Maloney, just a cool customer as the quarterback. Davion Grant with some nice numbers, 39 receptions, 711 as far as yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Just over 18 yards per catch.
Good drive by Mount Union, good balance.
First down, goal to go. Williams spins. Stiff arm, tumbles down to the 5-yard line. George Europe prevented the touchdown for Muhlenburg.
Good second effort there by Williams. Looked like he wasn't going to get anything, but spun out of the tackle. And then picked up the 5 yards. I think he got a little bit of a face mask there too, but not enough.
Just inside the 5-yard line. Second down, goal to go. Maloney, quarterback keeper. He's at the goal line. He's in for a Mount Union touchdown.
That was a 12-play, 90-yard drive. Great mix of pass and run, and the Purple Raiders get on the board first. Boy, that was crisp.
9th rushing touchdown of the year for Mike Maloney.
He had a notion to throw it, but didn't see anybody open, and saw the opening and took advantage.
Von Marich, senior from Falls Church, Virginia, attempting his 62nd extra point. And Franklin, the punter, is the holder. Marich is able to knock it through. The Mules moved the ball. They stalled when they got just into Mount Union territory. Mount Union got it at their own 10 following the punt. Nice drive, 90 yards, 12 plays.
Well, that was impressive. It was really flawless in terms of the play calling and also the execution. Muhlenburg showed that they can play some D there, but Mount was able to convert on that 4th down. That was a key play in this first drive. Able to convert at 4th and 4. See that stat, which we love to throw up there. It's an amazing stat. Mount has scored at 572 straight games, longest streak in any division of college football. Every game since November 7th of 1981.
1981.
So Mikey Maloney there on the sidelines, having a discussion. Try to improve on perfection in his next drive. But right now it's going to be up to the defense to stop this Muhlenburg team, which puts points on the board typically. They finished actually in their conference. They were an at-large bid because it was Johns Hopkins that won their conference, and their only 2 losses were to teams that were ranked, the other one being Franklin and Marshall and Johns Hopkins.
Here it comes short. Another nice return near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Muhlenberg's been able to return better than most teams here at Mount Union Stadium, as the kicking game at Mount has been pretty solid. So let's see who comes out quarterback for Muhlenberg to start this series. Yeah, I think Mahaffey again.
Offsides, kicking team, North 38. 5 yards into the run, first down.
So Mount was offside, and that'll be an additional 5 yards to the 30-yard line for the Mules. It is Spanning at quarterback. We're gonna have to be sharp, Jeff.
Well, to be fair, 7 ran out there first, and then they kind of made a change. But you have that opportunity, right? I mean, you know the defense is watching you, so that's probably not the only time we'll see one quarterback kind of mill around. And,
right.
You know, I don't know what impact that has, Mount Union defensively, but they have been alternating quarterbacks all year.
Likely prepared for both.
Spang will go to the air on first down. Rolls, looks, fires over the middle. That's incomplete. Pasoles, the intended receiver, was a bit behind him.
Might not have been on the same page there. Spang's kind of shaking his head, a little discouraged with his throw there, but he's might have also anticipated the receiver doing something else. That was Pasoles that was the intended, I think.
Second down, 10. Spang rolls again to his right. He'll throw on the run, bobbled but caught. Pasoles has it near the 40-yard line.
They're going to give him forward progress to the 40, and they'll move the sticks. So he got the 10 yards. Looked like actually he was bobbling it as he was moving backwards. It may have been a yard short, but they gave him the first down.
Not 100% sure it wasn't the same play. They just executed it better. Isaac Schaefer Knights. His first carry gains a yard.
Gang tackled there by Mount. Schaefer Knights with 84 attempts, 427 yards and 7 touchdowns. So I've talked about their passing game and that they prefer to pass, but they've put up some pretty nice numbers in their running game as well.
Happy back in at quarterback. Second down, 9. Quarterback draw. Runs into Caleb Brown of Mount Union. That'll go for no gain.
Lowered his head, but Caleb Brown was not going to let him push the pile forward. Caleb Brown with some nice numbers, 53 tackles, 13 for loss, 7 sacks. He's the guy when the game's on the line and quarterback is hot, can often turn the game around.
Yeah, he's climbing up the Mount Union sack list with every play. 3rd and 9. Again, Mahaffey. Check that, it's Spang. Throws on the run down the sideline. It's incomplete.
Pasavulu
broke it up.
Yeah, boy, he made a great play. Got position. It was a nice pass. Pasavulu, watch him again. He got the position, went up, even though the receiver taller than he, and able to knock it away.
That's it, 23!
Pasavulu with some nice numbers. He's got some tackles for loss, pass breakups, 3 picks. And it forces Muhlenburg into another punting situation.
Sam Morris. He's had 4 punts of 50 or more yards. He needs one now, and that might be one. High spiral. Ashby backpedaling, makes the catch. Nice move. Now he's got the sideline, and out of bounds about the 24. Mikey Maloney and the Mount Union offense taking over.
That was a good hustle play, by the way, by Muhlenberg's Leo Dauberman, because he had the corner, but Dauberman came over and made a flying tackle out of bounds and kept that from being a longer return. But Mount with better field position this time than last time at its own 24. Their last drive started from the 10.
Dauberman, a big interception in last week's win over Union. 1st and 10. Handoff will go right up the middle. That's Sean Thomas. Give him 2. So Muhlenburg did not get the bye as an at-large. They played Union last week. 14-14 at the break. And then they put it together.
A couple of field goals actually won that game for them. Yeah, Union, they down through the years, they've been a perennial playoff type team. And that one was up for grabs, and Muhlenburg pulled off the win.
Second down 8. Maloney will keep himself around the right side, and he'll slide in. Set up third down and short.
Except they're marking it where he started the slide at the 31, and it's a little longer than it looked.
Here's the difference between playoff and regular season. Regular season, Maloney's still running with that. That's usually a pretty good gainer. He's had a 57-yard touchdown. I think he's had a 55-yard touchdown on those plays, but Muhlenburg up to it. 3rd and 3.
Muhlenburg needs this one on defense.
Maloney. Over the middle. He's got Grant. Grant is into Muhlenburg territory inside the 40 for a Mount Union first down.
Well, and that is Mikey Maloney at his best. He didn't have a lot on that because of the angle that he was throwing the ball at, but he got it right to Grant, and he threw it 20 yards. And Grant ran the great pattern, got himself open, and that's a big third down conversion for the Purple Raiders.
We saw the wall that was set up by that veteran offensive line.
Yeah, that gave him plenty of time for sure.
39-yard line. Might be the final play of the first quarter. Thomas, nothing up the middle. He'll try the left side, squares his shoulders, and picks up about 5 yards.
Looks like Thomas is the guy that they're assigning for the grunt yards. I mean, he's had to go between the tackles now on 3 carries. He's picked up good yardage. That was a great run on his part because he spun out of a couple of tackles and picked up the 5 yards. But that was going to be it for the first quarter of play. And here we are through one. Mount Union up by the score of 7-0. So a good first quarter for the Purple Raiders. They go up 7-0 as they went 12 plays, 90 yards, capped by a Mikey Maloney run for touchdown. And on the drive again here on their second possession to begin the second quarter. There you see the head coach of the Purple Raiders, Jeff Dart. They had an extra week to prepare because they got the bye. But on the other hand, there's a couple schools of thought on this. You could have Muhlenburg, saying, well, we got a chance to play a game where these guys had a chance to rest.
Maloney will toss to Turner. Knocked off his feet as soon as he grabs the ball at the 30-yard line. Jake Souse, sophomore corner. 3rd down and 1. Well, you mentioned you had an extra week to prepare. You also have an extra week to heal.
Yeah, that's
There's a
right.
lot of bumps and bruises that come along after 10 weeks of football.
Regular season, you're right. So there's a definite advantage to the bye, I think most people would say.
3rd and 1. Hand off to Thomas, and he'll have the Mount Union first down.
The Mules were ball hawking there, but Thomas managed to hang on, reaching in there for Muhlenburg with Peyton Elliott trying to grab the football. But another key 3rd down conversion by Mount. But these two teams, by the way, among the best in Division III in 3rd down conversions. They both converted at about a 50% rate.
5-yard line. Mount Union's second possession. Maloney with play action. Plenty of time. Now he'll slide to his left. Throws on the run and just throws it away.
There just wasn't anything there. Everybody was covered. That's a coverage incompletion by Muhlenburg. Because Maloney certainly had enough time to find somebody if they would have been open, but nothing there. Not in the red zone yet, but Mount also one of the better teams once they get there.
A 4-receiver package now on 2nd and 10. Running back is Thomas. Maloney cranks it over the middle. A catch. Will be a first down at the 10-yard line. First catch of the day for Jacob Cockrell.
Again, you give Maloney that kind of time, he's going to find somebody. He also had a safety valve there in Williams, but he was eyeing it downfield, and he was waiting for Cockrell to get open, and he did. You mentioned a couple of the other receivers. Here's Jacob Cockrell's numbers: 37 catches, 590 yards, 5 touchdowns, and another first down for Mount. So this is first and goal at the 10.
Darnell Williams, the setback behind Mikey Maloney. Maloney will keep. He rolls. Maloney is out of bounds inside the 5.
Well, he simply outran the guy who was closing in on him, Blaze Curry. Looked like Curry may have even had the angle at one point, but Maloney was able to get around him and pick up half of the yardage to the goal line.
Union a real nice rhythm offensively.
They've been crisp, you're right. Thomas is in there as the running back this time.
Thomas.
Oh, nice fake.
Fake, and here's Maloney walking into the end zone for a Mount Union touchdown.
That was pulled off because of a magician-like performance by Maloney. This is a great fake. They thought it was going to go to Thomas, and Maloney kept it for the touchdown. So he's got 2 rushing touchdowns to start the game.
His 9th and 10th of the season. 13-0 Mount Union, and here comes the extra point try. Juan Marich. Snap and hold. The kick is up, and the kick is through, and you can make it 14-0 Mount Union. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. A very balanced attack for Mount Union.
Yeah, it's been a workman-like performance here so far. They just marched the ball nicely. The mix of pass and run has been perfect, and they've even spread the passes around to the 3 different receivers that typically do get their passes. And just a nice rushing game. It's nice to have Sean Thomas back in the lineup. He gets picking up some tough yards. You have Thomas and Williams in that backfield. We haven't heard from Minner yet, but he'll probably be in the game before it's over as well. So a nice job by the offense, but hey, how about the defense? They have kept Muhlenburg away from the red zone and the end zone, and that's allowed for Mount to take a 14-0 lead right home. Playoff football, you never know. You get these 2-3 touchdown leads, and it doesn't matter. These teams are used to being able to score. And, you just can't take the foot off the accelerator.
Well, let's not forget it was Muhlenburg up 21-9 last time they were here, and Mount Union came back and beat them at overtime. So to your point, you're not done till you're done. Rafferty waiting for the go-ahead. That'll come down to the end zone. And Short will down it there. So out to the 25-yard line we come.
And the Mules, who have used a couple different quarterbacks, Mahaffey being one, Spang being the other. Both guys, I think, are in the huddle right now, as Mount's probably trying to eye who it might be that comes in. And looks like it's going to be Mahaffey this time.
Sometimes they have them both in.
Yeah, right.
They'll start with Mahaffey. 1,000-yard passer, came in as their leading rusher. just saw him on the kick return team. And now he'll keep it on a draw, and Mount Union able to stuff him for a gain of about 1 yard. Unless they let it go, and they did. Blow it dead. They gave him the 30.
There was no whistle, and now we've got some words being exchanged. But he's tough to bring down, and that's the advantage of putting him in at quarterback. He doesn't give up. And that tackle just, the way he was tackled, gave him 3 more yards.
He'll stay in. Matthew Manning is the setback. Play action. Mahaffey will flip it, and he connects, and that'll go for a first down over the 40-yard line to about the 43. Chris Holland, the tight end.
There's a little magic-like on the part of Mahaffey. He's pointing, he kind of points as though he's got somebody there, but he just kind of flips it out and gets the first down.
Well, they'll move the chains to the 43-yard line. Mahaffey will give to Manning. Knocked off his feet. 46.
Looked like we were going to dance there for a little bit. Did a little dance. Manning and Mahaffey, and he finally gave it off to Manning. Here's his numbers. 98 carries, 432 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Second down, 7. An important drive, I think, for Muhlenburg. They need to get some points on the scoreboard, down 14-0. Another keeper by the quarterback. And another gain of about 2 or 3. So third down and 5 now from their own 48.
Mahaffey likes to run the football. And, he's their running quarterback. So when he's in there, all things are possible. Now he's coming to the sidelines. And Spang's going to take a passing down.
I mean, they are truly interchangeable. I mean, they lined up, they all look, check with me on the sideline, and then they've changed the quarterback. Really unique how they run their offense, but it is successful. They're 9-2. Spang, short drop, throws, intercepted. Rasavulu has it with a party in front of him. He's headed up the sideline. He's still in bounds and now tumbles out inside the 15.
So they brought the passing quarterback in, Spang, and he threw it into a crowd. And Rasavulu, who has 3 picks for Mount Union this season, gets a pick there, and he was thinking pick 6, but ran out of running room on the sideline. He just jumped the route and made a great play.
They'll put it down at the 17-yard line.
So when Mount Union wins the turnover battle, they are tough to top, and they have just gotten the first turnover of the game. There's Rasavulu's numbers so far today already. 3 tackles, a pass breakup, and an interception. Big day so far.
Senior from North Ridgeville, Ohio. Back to throw, Maloney, and a one-play drive. Mount Union scores. Davion Grant makes it 20-0.
Great play there. They faked again, it was the play fake up the middle that drew some of the backers in, and that allowed Grant to be wide open across the middle, and Mikey Maloney was on target here this afternoon.
He has thrown a touchdown pass. He has run for 2. Waiting to try for point by Marich. That is also good. All Mount Union here so far in the first half, 21-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't. That one was set up by the defense, obviously, but so you only had the one-play drive for 20 yards or so. But Mount has moved the ball well, their defense playing well, and they're up 21-0. We'll be back. Now back at Karas Stadium, Rasivulu with the interception, setting up the touchdown to Grant. And there is Grant with his first touchdown of the afternoon. Maloney now has run for 2, thrown for 1, with 9:19 to go in the second frame.
Rafferty's been busy. So back short up to the goal line. He'll let it fly to the end zone for a touchback. Mules will resume control at their own 25-yard line, down 21-0 on the road.
Well, we talked about getting an answer when you're down 14-0. Now it becomes even more imperative. 21-0. So far, well, Coach Millen talked a little bit about the fact that they got off to a slow start against Union in the first half. They kind of were discombobulated a little bit and then found their way in the second half and ended up winning the game. So they seem to be suffering the same fate here. They're not quite as crisp, although they have moved the ball. And it's pretty clear that they've got a good offense, but Mount has been equal to the occasion here.
Spang back to work. He hits Runfellow out of bounds after a gain of around 4 or 5. And there's a confidence thing right there. Millen allowing that same quarterback, Spang, to throw it to the same intended receiver with the same defender.
They've got to get it. I mean, they got to get into a rhythm here, and they haven't been able to quite yet.
Second down, about 5.5. Spang. Protection is good. He'll float it down the sideline, and Runfellow caught it, but they're going to rule him out of bounds.
Well, you just need 1 foot in, but he didn't have either one. As the ball floated a little bit on Spang, and Runfellow comes up wobbling a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to get him out for a play or two. Favoring his right foot.
There's a good view right there of that right foot not being in bounds.
Third down. Luke Spang will try to convert here. They need their own 35-yard line to move the sticks. Spang. Protection breaks down, and he will go down at the 20-yard line.
And Mount had 6 guys in there, and of course Caleb Brown was the one who finally ended up getting him.
He's the closer, isn't he?
Yeah, he usually is.
33 Renard wouldn't let him throw the ball, and then once he tucked it in and turned around, he ran into a bunch of Purple Raiders.
You should credit Renard with this one too, because you're right. He came in there, and Edelman was also there. And Spang hurt on the play. I think he's favoring the shoulder.
That's his throwing shoulder. Not a good sign for the Muhlenburg quarterback. It will be 4th and 14, a punting situation for the Mules. Mount Union sent Connor Ashby back to his own 40-yard line. Waiting the punt by Sam Morris.
So the Mules just unable to. They moved the ball pretty well in that first series, but haven't gotten anything going since.
High floater toward the sideline. Ashby grabs it, but well out of bounds. Looks like they'll put it down to around the 42-yard line of Mount Union. 3 possessions for Mount Union, 3 touchdowns. Here comes Mikey Maloney and the offense one more time.
So Mount this time with good field position. Of course, they had excellent field position in the last one. Maloney's passing numbers, 9 of 10 for 123 yards and a touchdown. And don't forget about his rushes, 4 of those for 19 yards and 2 touchdowns. So far,
as advertised.
As advertised, you got it.
Only a sophomore. Concord Township, Ohio. little more than 8 minutes left in the first half, and Maloney, 1st and 10. Handoff is Caden Minner. His first carry. Gains 3 or 4.
We thought we'd see 3 running backs. And Caden Minner is in there now with 75 carries and 556 yards and 6 touchdowns on his season so far.
So he's the sophomore who was kind of the heir apparent to Darnell Williams, graduate student, Sean Thomas, senior. Well, Thomas got that injury, and Minner didn't waste his opportunity.
Yeah, he got in there and tried not to have the offense miss a beat. They're different runners. Thomas a little bigger and, you know, between the tackles type.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's Mitch Coffey, the right tackle, costing Mount Union 5 yards.
First flag of the game, I believe, isn't that?
Second.
There was one other. That's right. We had that offsides on the kickoff, and now this one, illegal procedure against Mount. This is what you want, though, in playoff football. You want fewer penalties. And you hope that the officials will let them play. And so far, that's been the case.
Well, Minner is still in at running back. Minner, Williams, and Thomas all average over 7 yards per carry. Here's a throw to Cockrell. He'll pick up the first down and run into the Mount Union bench at the 48-yard line of Muhlenburg.
Right at the front stick. Cockrell knew where he needed to go, and bang, right there. Nice throw by Maloney. He was quick on that one. And they have moved the ball now into Muhlenburg territory.
Union comfortable. It's kind of an odd snap. Pitch right down the middle, and again another grab. That's Davion Grant trying to break tackles. He's inside the 20-yard line for a Mount Union first.
Effortless throw by Maloney, too. He was back, he had time, and he just zinged it out there to Davion Grant. He was his primary receiver, looking at him all the way. And got between a couple of defenders, got it inside the 20.
Right back to work. Darnell Williams up the sideline, may have another first down for Mount Union. He does. 1st and goal at the 8.
Well, Williams with his 2nd reception.
Minner is the setback on 1st and goal. Screen goes to Williams inside the 5-yard line.
So the beat continues, and the crispness with which Mount Union is moving the football continues. They're inside the 5. Williams comes out.
Three-yard line is the spot. 2nd down, goal to go.
And Minner is going to be the running back here.
Maloney, play action. Plenty of time over the middle. It's incomplete. Not sure if that was to the tight end Steele or Cockrell in the back of the end zone.
Looked like Cockrell. I think he really wanted to go to Steele, but there were 3 white jerseys around him. Don't think they haven't already figured out that this is a situation that they throw to Steele.
Here's the story with Wyatt Steele. 7 catches, 6 touchdowns.
That's a pretty obvious stat if you're scouting a team. We're going to cover him when you're inside the 5.
3rd and goal. Maloney calls his own number again for the 3rd time.
You know, you're thinking as a defense, nah, they're not going to do that again, are they? Come on, they're not going to let that quarterback fake and then go around the right side. But he did it again, and he's got 3 touchdowns.
That gives me 11 on the year, 3 on the half.
Good play fake into Minner, and then Maloney with his 3rd touchdown.
Von March. makes it 28-0. Mount Union. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. Mules have some work to do on both sides of the ball.
Well, they really do. Mount, of course, took advantage of a turnover and scored that 3rd touchdown. This last touchdown was good field position because the defense has done a job. You know, you go back to 2018, these two teams did meet then. We showed you in pregame what happened there in 2021. In 2018, it was a different story. Mount dominated that game. Petroselli was running back then, too. And Mount Union prevailed. Their offense and defense both contributing. That was Lou Berry making the pick 6 there, who's now a coach at Mount Union. And there's Petroselli scoring another touchdown as Mount won that one 38-10.
This is short on the return. He's got a seam up the middle. He's got to get by the kicker, and Rafferty saves the day at midfield.
Oh, nice return. They've had a couple of returns that have been nice, but that one looked like it could have gone the distance. Not for Rafferty.
Scanning the Muhlenburg sideline, looking for Luke Spang. You may remember he was a little shaken up on their last possession.
So now suddenly, Muhlenburg in business with the ball at the 50-yard line. And it is Mahaffey who will engineer this group. Down by 28.
He may go the rest of the way. I don't see Spang on the sideline, but then again, a lot of them are wearing jackets. Mahaffey will try up the middle, and he'll get a yard. Mount Union 49. Keenan Cruz at the bottom of the pile for Mount Union.
You can tell Mahaffey's kind of a take charge guy out there, isn't he? You can tell he's done this a few times before.
Handoff goes to Manning. 2 more. 3rd and long now for the Mules.
Well, the Mules are in 4 down territory regardless now, down by 4 touchdowns and in Mount Union territory. Just a matter of whether they can make it a little closer here on 3rd down or maybe even pick up the 1st down.
Well, they talk about Mahaffey being quote-unquote running quarterback. He's thrown over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he can throw it if they give him time.
13 touchdowns and 3 interceptions as a quarterback. He'll go to the air, short drop over the middle. He connects, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Logan Nordek.
Cruz was the guy who broke it up. It looked like he was bobbling it and looked like he could have maybe hauled it in, but Cruz connected right at the right moment. He has it, and then Cruz makes the hit and he drops it. So I thought they might try to go for it here, but instead the punter is on for the Mules. Good time to
7, a little too long.
Yeah, a little too long, but it's also a good time to fake a punt if you have that in your repertoire.
True. Sam Morris. Union will set up the return. Morris
has got to get out of the way of this one.
Backspin. It takes a Mount Union roll inside the 15 where they will down it. 28-0 Mount Union, and the offense back on duty.
Now, of course, if you're Mount Union, don't forget Mount did not win the toss. They will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, so if they can score here and get up by 5 touchdowns and then get the ball in the 3rd quarter, yeah, pretty difficult task for the Mules. So this is a key defensive series for Muhlenburg. They have not been able to solve Mikey Maloney.
They'll start with Darnell Williams as the running back. Only on 1st and 10. Hands to Williams. He slides to his left and has about 7 yards.
From Mount's perspective, you know, ideally what you want here is to use as much clock as possible because you've got that lead. But get some points out of it as well. Long drive, don't give the ball back to Muhlenburg, and go into the locker room knowing that you had a great first half.
Maloney gets the play from the sideline back into the formation on 2nd down and 2. Wants to throw. He'll run. First down as he slides in at the 30-yard line. That's the problem with Mount Union. Those who have not seen Mount Union play, it's not usually the Mikey Maloney show.
Yeah, with that run, though, he's the leading rusher. He's got 3 touchdowns. Been an incredible first half performance.
So many weapons offensively for Mount Union. 1st and 10. They'll call it the 29. And Williams gets the call.
And again, Mount's content to use the running play. They've got all 3 timeouts, and now we're at the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
So the Purple Raiders just continue to chew up the clock and keep the ball out of Muhlenburg's hands offensively. And our score with 2 minutes to go in the first half, 28-0 Mount Union, and we'll be back. Back here at Kara Stadium, Mount up by 4 touchdowns. There's Jeff Dart. He's conversed with the offense, and they would like to put together a sustained drive that results in points to end the half.
2nd down 5. Maloney, near sideline, great catch. Again, it's Davion Grant.
Well, he had Grant deep, and he had Steele underneath. Steele had thrown a nice little chip block and moved underneath. I actually thought that's who he was going to throw to, but Grant got open deeper. And Maloney, before the catch, 4 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown for Davion Grant. He's got the most receiving yards on the team. I think Turner has the most receptions.
Darnell Williams, one man to beat. He's ridden out of bounds short of the 10-yard line. First down, Mount Union stops the clock with 1:48.
Now, George Europe was able to track him down. He had the angle on him, but Williams showed some really good speed there. And a good job of getting through that hole quickly and just out racing the Mules. And setting up shop once again close to the 10-yard line, just outside of the 10 now.
Tight ends reporting for Mount Union. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. If they score too soon, it'll be Muhlenburg trying to use their timeouts.
Williams stacked up for no gain. Well, they're going to give him the 10-yard line, give him about 1.5 yards. Thomas Cerruti, the linebacker for the Mules, putting together a nice half of football.
Yeah, he has. And Mount will take their time here, letting the clock run, given their position on the field and the lead that they have. No sense in giving Muhlenburg the ball back with a lot of time to try to put an offensive drive together.
2nd and 8. Maloney throws on the run. It is caught for a Mount Union touchdown. Davion Grant.
And rolling to his left, just a perfect touch pass to Davion Grant. Watch this again. This is, again, Grant had gone in motion. This goes down there, and Maloney over the outstretched arms of the defender into the hands of Grant. Another pretty touchdown.
Comes with 58 seconds left to play in quarter number 2. Von Marich. That's the 35th Mount Union point.
I'm a little surprised.
Well, you know, and we've been around long enough to know that Mount Union, after a week off and that first playoff game, usually takes them a second or two to get back up to speed. Not today.
No, absolutely not. There's absolutely no rust. You know, we talked about having that extra week off, and you know, teams that play sometimes get that advantage that, you know, if they're in some kind of a roll, they can stay on the roll. Well, you kind of have to retool after having sat a week, but that has happened at all to Mount Union. You know, the winner today will play the winner of John Carroll and Randolph Macon, and they're participating right as we speak. And it will likely be here at Mount Union. No guarantee of that because NCAA decides that on the Sunday after the Saturday games, but it could very well be John Carroll if Mount Union were to hang on here against Muhlenburg.
John Carroll, a long-time conference opponent of Mount Union, and they left the conference. This was their first season outside of the OAC, but they get to get reacquainted.
Could very well happen.
This will be a touchback. 25-yard line will be the spot. So 58 seconds left. Mules, 3 timeouts remaining. And they really need to get some points here. Get that 0 off the scoreboard heading into the locker room.
They've got all 3 timeouts. So does Mount. It's just whatever they choose to do here. You might want to just run the ball and regroup at halftime.
Dante Mahaffey. They will give to Schaefer Knights. And Isaac Schaefer Knights about 9 yards on first down.
Anderson making the tackle for Mount. Good pursuit. Just shy of the front stick.
There's another run. J.R. Wally. It's to the 31. 3rd down and 4 with 20 seconds left, and Muhlenburg not in any hurry.
No, knowing the Mount has 3 timeouts, they don't want to give the ball back. No, I think they'll just let time expire. They might try to run one play here. No, I think I can even do that. Big second quarter for Mount Union.
It has been all Mount Union, specifically all Mikey Maloney. He's rushed for 3. He's thrown for 2. At the break, Mount Union 35, Muhlenburg no score.
Bassett was 3 of 8 for 20 yards with 1 reception. And Dante Hackney ran 4 for 15 yards. Spanish sack on the top. For Union, at 11-15 to 17 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving John 4 his targets. He's got 2 for 10 yards. Chris Holland caught 1 for 13 yards. A Swift one catch for 10 yards. The Braves, 6 catches for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tim Turner, 4 catches for 43 yards. Darnell Williams, 3 catches for 43 yards. And Jacob Conklin, 2 catches for 25 yards. Defensively, George Wood, leading the Mules with 6 total tackles. And South Sylvester and Burns McGinn with 4 each. Union Oscar Fussy Lugo with 4 tackles. Don Allen with 3, Harper and Bailey with 3. The winner of today's game will play the winner of the Grand Macon and Jordan Carroll contest. Currently that game is at halftime, and Jordan Carroll leads 14-6. Other game going on. Barry 14, Princeton Grange 14, Barry 8 at halftime. Just beginning the third quarter, Lacrosse and Hope are still scoreless. Halftime, Susquehanna 21, Christopher Newport 7. Halftime, Eastern 21, Diamond Marshall 14. Halftime, Salisbury 20, Endicott 7. Halftime, John Hopkins 20 and Springfield 7. In the first quarter, they're 1 hour behind us. Trinity, Texas leads Hardin Simmons 7-0 in the first quarter. And the 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, North Central are scoreless. And with 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, University of Wisconsin Platteville leads Iowa 3-0. 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter, Bethel leads 12-14-7. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, Woodward 7-0. First quarter, with 4 minutes remaining, DePaul and Redwater are scoreless. 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter, St. John's 7, Muhlenburg. And with 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter, UW River Falls leads Chapman 7-0.
Well, back here at Kara Stadium, it's halftime. Muhlenburg and Mount Union, and it's Mount Union on top, 35-0. Purple Raiders looking very sharp offensively and defensively. Let's take a look at some halftime highlights. Mikey Maloney, his first of 3 rushing touchdowns. That one from 4 yards out. And he keeps the ball again, and also from 4 yards out. Gives them a 14-0 lead early in the second quarter. And here is a big pick by Thrasivulu, who gets run out of bounds, but creates the turnover that results in this touchdown pass from Maloney to Grant, a 17-yard touchdown pass right after the interception. Maloney with his 3rd rushing touchdown. This one a 3-yard rush. And another touchdown to Grant. This a 10-yarder to make it 35-0 Purple Raiders. Just an outstanding, crisp day of football for Mount Union. And here you look at the stats, and they don't lie. Mount Union with 201 passing yards to 33 for Muhlenburg, 131 to 39. 2 penalties only in the ball game, both against Mount for 10. 1 turnover, and it was a costly one for the Mules, and Mount has owned the time of possession, 17-17 to 12:43. So, Jeff, I'll tell you, couldn't ask for a better half of football if you're Jeff Dart.
No, Grant 6 catches, 110 yards, and the 2 touchdowns. You know, we're looking at targets. Grant 6 catches on 6 targets. Turner 4 catches on 4 targets. Williams 3 catches on 3 targets, and Cockrell 2 catches on 3 targets. So he missed 1.
Exactly, and again with the quarterback Maloney rushing for 3 touchdowns, that doesn't even begin to tell the story. 15 of 17 passing for 201 yards. So just a good afternoon. But you know, we're talking about the skilled players, but the reason Maloney has been as outstanding as he's been is because his offensive line has given him plenty of time to throw.
Yeah, Muhlenburg has not been able to solve that. They've been nowhere near Maloney when he's in the pocket. And you're right, it makes it easy when you don't have the bullets flying behind the line of scrimmage. Now, meanwhile, for Muhlenburg, their quarterback, Luke Spang, was shaken up. We haven't seen him since they helped him off. Looked like he had an issue with his right shoulder. Fortunately, they're a 2-quarterback system, and they have Dante Mahaffey to play quarterback, but he may have to go the rest of the way.
Yeah, likely will have to go the rest of the way, and he's no stranger to it. He has been the starter. Spang took the job away during this season, but he knows how to play the position. He looks like a real leader, and was one of the tri-captains, and that's just a kind of a tough character just looking at him, as he's hard to bring down. But they're going to have to do a lot here in the second half to overcome this deficit, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Mount gets the benefit of the ball to begin the 3rd quarter because Muhlenburg wanted the ball to begin the ball game, and they moved the ball pretty well into Mount Union territory, but then could not convert, and it's been all Mount Union since then. So here we go, ready to go with the second half, and here's Jeff.
Nicholas D'Amico. They'll kick off. That one halfway through the end zone. Mount Union will let it bounce, and it will be a touchback. 25-yard line, starting position for Mount Union, up 35-0.
There's that 15 of 17 for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns passing to go along with his 3 touchdowns rushing. So let's see. Mount's used different people in the backfield, and I think it's going to be Williams as the tailback. Maroney, of course, the quarterback, and Mount would love to add another touchdown here in the 3rd quarter and keep the ball rolling.
Williams, 81 yards on 9 carries. They'll go to the air on first down. Once again, it's Davion Grant. Grant picks up 9 on first down. Second down, 1. Mount Union hasn't had much in the way of losses. They haven't taken a sack.
They've just been completing the football. There's only been 2 incompletions. Davion Grant with a good first half, 110 yards already and 6 receptions and a couple of touchdowns. He's getting open. I mean, he has the 2 touchdowns, but 4 other receptions. He's been open, and Maloney's been looking to him.
Williams, first down. 2-yard gain sets up a 1st and 10 at the Mount Union 36. NCAA Division III playoffs. We are in round 2.
The winner of this plays the winner of Randolph-Macon John Carroll. The score at the half was John Carroll 14, Randolph-Macon 6.
Williams into the second level. He's got another first down to the 49 of Mount Union.
Good depth for Mount at the running back spot for sure, and the receiving core. And it comes into play in the playoffs. You know, these guys have gotten a lot of snaps throughout the regular season, and you can interchange Williams and Minner and Thomas and not lose a whole lot. And they're different runners too, so they bring a different element to the game.
Mount Union 49, 1st and 10. Maloney to Williams. Again into the second level. Again, it's a first down. Inside the 40-yard line of Muhlenburg, 1st and 10 at the 38.
Marcus McLean making the stop. Good hard tackle, but Williams picks up the first down into Muhlenburg territory. Mount will take their good old time, obviously, running these plays on offense. Got to take away whatever clock that Muhlenburg would have to its advantage if they were able to stop Mount Union, but so far they haven't stopped them.
Maloney to the air on first down. Right side is Jacob Cockrell. He has been quiet by Jacob Cockrell standards today. But again, that's the problem with Mount Union. When you come out to play defense against them, they've got 3 really good receivers, 3 really good running backs, and Maloney.
Exactly, and Maloney's been favoring Davion Grant, but only because he's been open. He likes to spread it around.
1st and 10, they're at the 27-yard line of Muhlenburg. Empty backfield. Maloney has a lot of time. Over the middle, wide open is Nick Turner for a Mount Union touchdown.
Wow, did he have the time? And Turner just got wide open because he was able to make a cut into the center of the field. And Maloney, as he has all afternoon, put her right on the numbers. There you see it again. Turner wide open and clear sailing into the end zone.
Can't say enough about this Mount Union offensive line. A lot of upperclassmen, and they have been waiting for this opportunity in the postseason. They're keeping their quarterback clean. Von Marich makes it 42-0. Muhlenburg start to climb the hill.
Yes, they will. We'll see how much fight they've got left. I mean, getting down 42-0. We'll have to see what Coach Millen has in store. All conference teams here. First, all Centennial. That's the conference to which Muhlenburg belongs. They placed 10 players on the All Centennial Conference team, and freshman wide receiver Caleb Pasols was named the Centennial Conference Rookie of the Year. From Mount's perspective, Mount had 16 players on All OAC. Caleb Brown, Costa Thrasivulu, and Mikey Maloney were Conference Players of the Year at their respective positions.
And I think you could see why if you have been watching all day. Thrasivulu has an interception that set up a Mount Union score. Maloney has accounted for 6 touchdowns. And Caleb Brown has been a problem He's been in the offensive backfield all day.
Yeah, it's kind of reflective of kind of a microcosm of the entire season, isn't it, so far?
Connell Rafferty, Mount Union's freshman kicker. Here comes the return up the middle by Short. Blocked well. Piece of the face mask. He fights through that, and he may get another 15 yards. They may have caught Mount Union with a face masking penalty. Haven't had many flags in the game today.
No, but that one is being set down at the 30.
2 penalties accepted in the first half, Barry, both on Mount Union.
This will be the first one, though, that is, other than the...
During the return, holding, return team number 34. Field reinforcement spotted a foul. First down.
Turns out it's against Muhlenburg.
Their first of the afternoon. And Mount Union, I think, got away with a face mask on that one. So
could be. They were maybe more concerned about throwing the flag with holding, but hey, on returns, there's a lot of things that happen.
Now. It wasn't a long one.
But it was about the time, just seconds after the holding penalty flag was thrown.
Mahaffey's ready to go, but the officials are holding up play. Need to reset the play clock. Here comes Manning around the left side. Knocked off his feet at the 25-yard line after a gain of, appears to be 5 yards. Second down, 5.
Manning in the first half with 5 carries, 22 yards. Didn't see a whole lot of activity after that first drive, which was an impressive drive, but no points to show for it.
Mahaffey will turn. They'll try the right side with Manning. Knocked down by Keenan Cruz. When Cruz and Arthur in the middle of that Mount Union defense, they're top 2 tacklers, and you can see why.
Now they've just gotten better and better as we've watched Mount Union football. Now veterans on this defense, and they are tough for offensive lines to handle.
3rd and 2. Dante Mahaffey will give to Manning, and he should have a first down.
I don't know. I think he's short based on the spot. Yeah, look at him 4th down real quick.
Manning,
whoops,
stacked up. I don't think he got it, although they're marking it near the 30.
And they did give him the first down that time.
I thought he had it on 3rd down.
Maybe he got it on 3rd down, and it didn't look like he got to the line, but the official stepped in and gave it to him on 1st down. So new life for the Mules.
Mahaffey in the grasp throws. It is tipped and incomplete. Holland, the tight end, wanted a penalty. Aiden Mack almost made the catch on the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Mack tipped it in the air and then lost sight of it, and he was looking for it. And he had enough time to recover, but he just didn't know where the ball was. Let's look again. Ball tipped, looks up. Yep, couldn't quite come up with it.
Caleb Brown had the penetration for Mount Union. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Play action. Here comes Brown. Mahaffey avoids him. Mahaffey throws on the run down the middle. It's over the head of Pasoles. He had him open.
Yeah, he had the right idea. He certainly did. He could have run the ball for a few yards too, but he saw Pasoles way downfield, and throwing it on the run, he just couldn't quite get the touch on it that he would have liked. Brown with a great job of forcing him out of the pocket, but then looks like he might run for some yards and finds Pasoles but can't connect.
Boy, Brown was completely unblocked on that play.
Let's go 30, get him!
3rd and 10.
Pick 6.
Maffey wants to throw. They won't let him, and he'll be grabbed and dropped. No gain. Keenan Cruz got there first, and Jerry Cooper finished him.
Brown was coming from the left side, and it looked like he kind of forced the issue a little bit there. You see he comes pretty much free, gets chipped a bit, and then Mahaffey makes a nice move forward, but just too many Purple Raiders for him to negotiate any yardage. Cooper made the play, but he was helped out by several other Raiders. And Mahaffey, pretty tough kid, tough to bring down.
Sam Morris. That went off the side of his foot and headed toward the Muhlenburg sideline. Takes a
It danced down the
bounce
sideline
for the Mules, and they'll knock it down just around the 21-yard line. So 42-0 Mount Union, and the ball. Second round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs, all advancing to the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl, which will be played in Canton, Ohio,
in January,
which is 30 minutes away from where we're seated right now.
You know it well, don't you?
Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Sean Thomas, 1 for Mount Union.
Thomas in the first half carried 4 times for 16 yards. Williams was the leading rusher in that first half with 81 yards. Maloney had 29.
So the mission here is to keep your rhythm, but just take a little longer to do it.
That's right.
Run some time off the clock. Sean Thomas, the senior from Lima, Ohio, is the setback. Maloney wants to throw. He slings it on the sideline. It is tipped, and I think caught by Nick Turner.
Catch. What a catch by Turner. It looked like that ball wobbled a little. It may have been tipped, I'm not sure, but we'll take another look. No, just kind of slung it out there, and what a catch by Turner.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Maloney throws to Turner again. That's another 5 yards, maybe 6.
Boy, Turner's catching them in the crowd now, isn't he?
Well, he got blasted on that one. That's where the receiver kind of goes back to the huddle and looks at the quarterback.
Why did you throw it?
What are you doing to me? Take him out for a play.
Yeah, seems to be okay, but he did get mauled there.
2nd down, about 4 yards to go. Maloney hands off to Thomas, working the right side, breaks the tackle, 1st down, and out of bounds in Muhlenburg territory.
Well, there you see the toughness of Sean Thomas and why he has been the guy that they run between the tackles at times. There he goes around the right side, bounces off a tackler, and not easy to bring down. Goes out of bounds, but gets the 1st down.
Good to see Sean Thomas back for Mount Union. He missed
you're right.
4 games.
He gives them an element that they didn't have with the smaller running backs.
Williams looking for room and finding it. He's got a 1st down. Running through tackles.
He may be a smaller running back, but he's not easy to bring down either. That was a great run by Darnell Williams.
Missed him at 5'8", 180. Kind of hides behind that offensive line and it explodes.
We've seen him even get better. I mean, you watch these Mount Union runners, they're pretty good at the beginning of the season. And by playoff time, assuming they're healthy, you can see the improvement. And that is also holds true for the offensive line and most of the players that are trying to get better and trying to get deep into the playoffs.
Williams and Thomas. The play action. Maloney toward the end zone. A jump ball that is incomplete. Underthrew Grant.
Yeah, it was under some duress. That was one of the few times when the Mules were able to apply some pressure, and I think altering the throw a little bit. Good defensive work there by Muhlenburg. Stops the clock with 5:10 remaining in the third.
Long look at the Mount Union sideline. Maloney will set up 2nd and 10. Great drop, draw play. Thomas over the 20, broke a tackle over the 15. First down, Mount Union.
Good hard second effort by Thomas. Looked like he was going to be short of the front stick, but put the shoulder down and bullied his way for the first down.
Old school draw play.
Yep. Look at him. He took on the defender and won that battle and kept on going.
Twelve-yard line, the spot, 1st and 10. The tight end, Matt Anderson, in motion. And Thomas again with a jump cut. Gets inside the 10, gets inside the 5, and down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Mount Union.
Great job again of breaking tackles. John Thomas here. Keeps himself low. Puts the left hand down for balance, and now they're going to try to score the touchdown with him, and they do.
John Thomas adds to the Mount Union lead. His first of the day, his first in a long time.
True.
7th of the season. 48-0. The extra point coming up.
John Thomas with a Lions effort during that drive, resulting in the 1-yard run.
Again, Kennedy and Fevrier on the left side of that line opened a big hole. 2 all-conference performers, 2 of those 16 told you about a moment ago. March adds the 49th Mount Union point. 49-0. Mount Union, 4 minutes left to play in the third.
Well, back at Kara Stadium, it's Mount Union picking up a touchdown here in the third quarter to extend its lead to 49-0. Jeff Dart pretty much expressionless as he realizes there's still time to go. Darrell Ely as well. They've got to feel pretty good, though, about the way their team has played here in the first 2.5 quarters.
You don't really know when you see Jeff Dart if they're winning or losing.
No, that's right.
He's pretty stoic. Here's a ground ball. Mahaffey will get his first return of the day. Tries the right side and has some room. He's got the sideline, and they'll force him out near the 45.
So
that's the good news. The bad news is he's your quarterback.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? You got your quarterback returning kickoffs, and he's all-purpose, that's for sure.
It's one thing when he's alternating a quarterback, but when he's the guy, that's a really unique setup that they have to have him return a kick.
Yeah. Well, it is the it may not be the last game, and it could be a miracle comeback here, but thinking last game, let him do his thing.
He will throw on first down. Wes Hack has a chance at one, but can't squeeze it. First target for him, junior from Somerville, New Jersey.
Yeah, I think it was Trasivulu who again came up to make that hit. Yeah, it was. And no chance to make a reception there.
Ohio Athletic Conference's top defensive back.
Costa Trasivulu.
Second down 10.
Glad I took 6 years of Greek school.
Mahaffey follows his running back, and he'll pick up about 2. Stays in bounds. Clock will continue to run. Well, we have a moment. I didn't bring this up in the first half. I apologize. Your lovely wife Kathy here, because it's your 50th anniversary. Well, you're spending it with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's 50 years of marriage, and here I am with you, Jeff.
You're going to hear about that. Here is a first down reception for Muhlenburg. The whole family was here. Well,
yeah, we've got them all in. It's been great. It's been a great culmination of those 50 years. And now that's the personal side. The other personal side of this is year 40 for televised football with image video, doing Mount Union football. 40th year. Time flies when you're having fun.
Speaking of let it fly, Mahaffey will try a deep ball, and it's tipped away by Ricky Levac at the 10-yard line. Incomplete.
Trasivulu was back, and also back was Levac, as you mentioned. So they had it pretty well, trying to go with the deep ball here, get score on the board, but good defense by Mount. Not a bad throw by Mahaffey either, though.
What they dial up here on 2nd and 10.
I think this is their deepest penetration since that first drive of the ball game.
Schaefer Knights sets up third at about 4.
Good tough run there by Schaefer Knights.
Quickly to the line. Mahaffey will roll. Throws on the run. Got a man open. Incomplete. Pasoles was open. They had him locked up with a linebacker, Weston Arthur.
Now they definitely had what they wanted there in terms of the coverage, but Mahaffey, who again when he's rolling and throwing, hasn't been able to get the touch on the ball that he would like. But now on 4th down, obviously you're down 49-0. 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Why not? Roll the dice.
Happy with a long look at that Mount Union defense. Still have 5 seconds to snap it. The drop. He will run. He's got the first down.
No sliding for him.
No, he does not slide.
And he does pick up the first down. Got bound in a blitz, and there was an opening up the middle. Took advantage of it. Tried to take on the defenders.
First and 10, 25-yard line. Mahaffey rolling. He pumps. He stops. He's wrapped up from behind. Chased down by Parker Logan.
Logan and Cruz. That's a combination that we've seen all year against some excellent quarterbacks.
Loss of 3 yards, 2nd and 13. Mahaffey looking left. In trouble. Brown is chasing him down, and Caleb Brown wraps him up. He picked up 2 yards, but Brown forces 3rd and 11.
Good coverage downfield. Maloney was looking to his left, didn't find anybody, and didn't realize Caleb Brown was pursuing from behind. Thought he was going to take off like he did on the last run, but Caleb Brown chased him down.
Two-down territory, you would think, for Muhlenburg. 1 minute remaining, 3rd quarter. Mahaffey. Clean pocket, down the left side. It is
Caught.
1 yard line.
Boy, that was a perfect throw that time, and Thresuvold turned just a split second too late as Runfellow was able to grab it at the 1 yard line. Well done. Might even been a touchdown. Landed on the pylon.
1st and goal, 1 yard line. Mahaffey will hang on to it. Head down, touchdown, Muhlenburg.
So Muhlenburg does get on the board. They avert the shutout. And they were able to do it with the toughness of their quarterback, Mahaffey, going in from 1 yard out.
Andrew Deutsch, sophomore from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, does the place kicking for the Mules. Runfellow is the holder. The extra point is on the way, and it is good. .28 seconds left here in the 3rd. 49-7. Mount Union will get the ball back. But something to build on there for the Mules.
Yeah, it is. It was only a matter of time. You know, Mahaffey, a hard-nosed type player, made that happen with that scramble from starters. He had a nice scramble that picked up good yardage, and then he was able to find one of his fine receivers. Just I'll tell you that as you look at that touchdown again, Thresuvold was in position, but didn't turn his head quite at the right time, and Mahaffey put it right on the money. So hats off to Muhlenburg for getting their first score, but remains to be seen whether that's too little too late. 49-7, 3rd quarter. Mount hasn't shown signs of weakening by any means as this game has progressed.
Miko. This one will land inside the 10. Ashby, full head of steam and knocked off his feet at the 25. Well, they still haven't stopped Mount Union on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's going to have to be key if they're going to try to make a game of it here in the 4th quarter. But I mean, I just can't see Mount with a 42-point lead caving at this point. But
I have them for 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. They've not punted, they have not turned it over. And Mikey Maloney has had a real nice day. Caden Minner. Maybe 2 yards. We'll give him forward progress to the 27.
And I'm sure Mount will let the clock run out on the 3rd quarter.
Also there, Tom Cerruti.
So we're going to switch sides here, Jeff, as Mount Union has been able to put a couple scores on the board. Muhlenburg did as well, but it's 49-7 after 3, and we'll be back after this. Well, back here at Garris Stadium, it's 49-7 Mount. Purple Raiders with the ball. Looking at a 2nd and 8 from their 27. Giving you an update on a score. John Carroll leads Randolph-Macon going into the 4th quarter 28-6. And the reason that's significant is that if both Mount Union and John Carroll win, they will meet next Saturday.
Maloney, he fires. Davion Grant. Talking about the day Maloney's had. How about Grant?
Yeah, with that, he had 119 yards prior to that completion. So that is also his 9th target and 8th reception.
Into the end zone twice.
Boy, Mikey Maloney's done a great job, though, of picking out the open man. The most open man, I guess you might say. They've had on a couple of occasions, they've had people underneath open as well, but they've been able to complete the long ball.
48-yard line of Mount Union. 4th quarter just underway. Handoff, Darnell Williams. A yard. Second down, 9.
And now Williams looks to the bench, and he'll come out of the game. Taking his good old time.
Yeah, plays being signaled in from the sideline. Maloney, blitz, fires near side. Cockrell out of bounds, near a first down. It is a first down.
And that's 45 yards in reception for Cockrell. That's his 4th catch. Primary receivers Grant, Turner, and Cockrell with close to 20 yards or 20 receptions, I should say. And Darnell Williams has caught 3 passes.
Well, Maloney's been very comfortable in the pocket. He has not had to go through progressions. He has not had to roll out.
That's right.
This offensive line has been stellar. Minner knocked off his feet on a very nice defensive play by Jake Souse. One of the few losses on the day for Mount Union.
Lost a couple there. Souse kind of untouched came in from the right side.
The play comes in from the sideline, and they are making the offense slow down by delaying what.
Sure, might as well take as much time off the clock as you can.
Turner is in motion, and Maloney with a draw play to Minner. He gets through the linebackers and is down to the 40-yard line. It's still going to be 3rd down and about 8 for Mount Union.
Minner does a good job on the draw, break that tackle, but then he is met head on by C.J. Newman. But, you know, they're being very deliberate here, making sure that they realize that the clock is their friend right now.
Already taken 3 minutes off of the clock. It's 3rd down and 8. And the handoff will go for 2 more. It'll be 4th down. Aiden Minner helped up by his offensive line, and that part of the football field, Harry, you don't know what's going to happen.
No. I think they might. Well, are they calling timeout? They're huddling up over there on the sideline.
Everybody left except the 2 tight ends. And now we are going to see a young man make his debut of the day Mike Franklin.
Certainly not his debut, because he has been a good punter for this team, but you're right. He has not seen action until this point.
Led the Ohio Conference just under 44 yards per punt. Puts a knuckleball up. It is knocked down and will result in a touchback. Darnell Williams slaps the ground. He thought he had an opportunity to make a play. You know, you see these guys, you know, why is Darnell Williams out there? Well, in the regular season, you've got Mount Union especially, they carry 90, 100 guys.
That's right.
More than that. And the rosters are slimmed down. So guys that don't necessarily play special teams during the regular season have to do so in the postseason.
That is correct, and that is why you will often see starters stay in the game maybe a little bit longer as well, because you don't have necessarily the depth. Mount there was just trying to pin Muhlenburg back and put the defense on the field, which has played outstanding this entire game. And now here comes Mahaffey out there to lead the offense. Got him in the end zone on the last possession. 10:20 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Play action, wants to throw. He's got a man open down the middle, and it's incomplete. Manning on the wheel route, but Jerry Cooper was able to recover to knock it away.
Yes, he did. He had a man streaking down the field, and that's his running back. And Cooper was able to make the play at the last minute.
Jerry Cooper, a converted wide receiver, switched over to defense this year.
Imagine him being in the...
He was pretty good last year.
He was. Felt like they could afford to move him to defense, and he did so very willingly.
Second down, 10. Mahaffey. Option play. He'll hang on to it. Comes into Keenan Cruz and Ricky Levac. Third down and 4. Weston Arthur had him from behind as well. You could punch in those Mount Union linebackers, Cruz and Arthur, on just about every play. If they're not there, Caleb Brown is. Third and 4. Rolling. And a fumble, and the ball is loose on the deck. There'll be a pileup, and we'll see who ends up with the ball at the 16-yard line.
It was Muhlenburg, and that was number 79, Christopher Roush, who came up with it. But just as Mahaffey was trying to get rid of it, his arm was hit.
And Gabe Ganelli came from behind to bat it away. Roush prevented further damage.
So that will
right tackle.
That will result in a punt for Muhlenburg.
Sam Morris has been busy. He's standing at his own 1. Low line drive, fair catch made at the 41-yard line by Mason Ashby.
So great field position for Mount. And let's see what they do at the quarterback spot. 8:33 to go, fourth quarter.
That number 11 you see in the middle is Chase Copper, the junior backup quarterback from Orlando. Maloney is on the outskirts of the huddle, but
yep, he was listening, but he's not going to be the man. It's going to be Chase Copper after an outstanding day for Maloney. Here's Copper's numbers coming in: 11-15, 199 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns. Not thrown a pick. Always nice to get him some snaps during the playoffs.
Handoff will go to Lucas Weaver, freshman running back from nearby Barberton.
Weaver's got some stats as well. 29 carries for 161 yards and a touchdown.
That's a guy I think will see some significant time next year.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what we go through year in and year out with Mount Union football. Some of the guys that you see in the fourth quarter, running between the tackles end up being your star running backs the next year.
Weaver again around the right side for 2 more.
Mount content to keep the ball on the ground. Maybe try to get the first down here with a pass, but they're just using the clock with the comfortable lead.
Maybe give Marich a swing at a long one.
They might. Did it the last game.
He tried a 61-yarder and he didn't hit it right. And love to have it back. He's got the leg to make that. 51 yards is the record at Mount Union, and he has it. Right in, Anderson in motion. Copper will go to the air on 3rd down. He'll swing it out, and a catch is made for a real short gain by Anderson. 4th down and 3 yards to go.
So that's the first grab by a tight end in the game. Mikey Maloney spread it around to 3 different receivers. No, actually with Williams, that would have been 4 different receivers. Anderson makes that reception, and now it's 4th and about 3. Mount's lining up to go for it, apparently.
Chase Copper on 4th and 3. Weaver. No, it's Copper. He hangs on to the ball and dumps it off to Matt Anderson.
Who got the first down.
Clearly wondering why Copper didn't just run. Let's see this again. Look at the nonverbal between the two. 81 and 11. I'm going to throw it. Why? I'm going to throw it. Why? All right, throw it.
And he got just past the front stick. Or did he? What are they talking about?
There's a penalty marker they're talking
flag
about.
Flag on the far side. Did he cross the line of scrimmage when he threw? Is that the question?
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh.
Offense number 73. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still 4th down.
Well, that changes things. Takes away the first down. Knocks Mount Union back 5. And now it's going to end up being 4th and 8.
Back to the 40-yard line.
Update on a score. We've got John Carroll now up 35-6. Nope, that's actually a final. So John Carroll with the victory.
We'll have the winner of this one. Mount Union hangs on. The thought is it would be here at Kara Stadium.
You would think so. Former conference foe, John Carroll. That'll be interesting.
4th and 8, and Franklin's on to punt. So backspin on that, and it will land in the end zone on the fly for a touchback.
Well, Franklin wanting to put it high in the air and hoping it would drop and, like you said, have some backspin on it, but when it lands in the end zone, not a whole lot you can do. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, and Muhlenburg's offense back on the field with 5:36 remaining 4th quarter.
Dante Mahaffey waving at what appears to be the Mount Union students in the end zone. Of course, the university is on break, but there are about half a dozen students in the student section. Mahaffey will throw. He hits on a slant that will go for a first down. Caleb Pasoles was the rookie of the year in the Centennial Conference.
Been relatively quiet in this game. That's just his second catch. Good one, though. Good catch, good play. First down for the Mules.
5 minutes remaining.
The Chicago last travel for the Raiders.
Dante Mahaffey. It's the handoff to Manning. Forced inside, and he gets the ball somehow to Mahaffey, who picks up a handful more. It's not a first down, but they're about a yard away.
And as he was about to go down, he was able to get the ball to Mahaffey.
It's turning into a backyard game. Second down 1. Mahaffey, you see the big smile on his face. Yeah, why not? Maybe changing the play. Second down and 1. Option. There's the pitch to Manning. Levac was there, but did he get the first down?
I think based on where they put it down, yes, they're moving the sticks.
First and 10, Muhlenburg.
So we've seen Mahaffey run the option a couple of times. And even though there's a good solo tackle there by Levac, fresh set of downs for the Mules as the clock runs.
Manning, he's smacked at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, Mules wanted to put one on the board just to get into double figures here against Mount, but it has been a dominant performance by the Mount Union offense and defense. Good way to open up the playoff run that will be next week. That'll continue next week against John Carroll.
Mahaffey on second and 10. Quick pitch. It is incomplete through the hands of Runbelow. Stops the clock with 2:57 and sets up third and 10. Mahaffey sets up the screen. Catch by Manning in traffic, and he is a little shy.
Yeah, we've got another yard to go, apparently. But a good call because Mount was coming, trying to get to Mahaffey, and he was able to dump it off. And this is a fourth down play here.
Mahaffey wants to throw, does throw. It is caught by Pasol's. First down, Muhlenburg at the Mount Union 32.
Good catch and throw, picking up the first down. Pasol's now with 3 catches. Found a seam in the Raider defense there, and they're going to just let the clock run down to 2 minutes. So we've got the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And the Purple Raiders with a 49-7 lead over the Muhlenburg Mules. 2 minutes to go. We'll be back. Well, there's the huddle. Last huddle, more than likely, of the season for the Mules, who trail by 42 with 2 minutes to go, but they'd like to get things going here to put another point touchdown on the board. Playoffs, Mount Union with a record 36 appearances, 116-22. Muhlenburg with 11 playoff appearances, 10-10. But the Mules are getting used to it now. They've been forced to be reckoned with lately. That was Pasol's again, was it? No, that was not Pasol's.
Joey Wetland of Zanesville, John Glenn High School. Mount Union 36 playoff appearances in 40 years. Right? First one was in 1985.
Right.
Talk about being a fixture.
Pretty amazing.
December football.
It is amazing.
Manning searching for an opening.
More playoff wins for Mount Union than any team has played. That's with your 116 wins that they have in the playoffs, nobody's even played that.
That's fascinating. And up until that point, 1985, they hadn't even won their conference. And then they just started this remarkable run, and it continues today. End around, Ruffalo.
It was fun last home game we did when you had the 1985 team here for their reunion. Scott Wolf was up in our booth in the fourth quarter. Just fascinating when you think about that. Was the start of that run, 40 years. Up to that point, had not won an Ohio Conference crown ever in football.
Manning stacked up. Gets us under the 1 minute mark.
Well, neither team is really, again, Muhlenberg's trying to score, but they're not fanatic about it, stopping the clock and doing those kinds of things. Obviously, they'd like to put the ball in the end zone. Meanwhile, Mount's defense would like to hold them to single digits.
Haffey bobbles the ball, but gathers it in. And we'll see what the situation is. They were short by a yard. Maybe the final snap.
Yeah, they might try to get one more.
Happy thought about lining up and said, you know what?
That's it.
Let's call it a day. It's been a long day in Alliance. Mount Union advances to the next round of the NCAA playoffs. They'll take on old friend John Carroll from University Heights, Ohio, next week at a site yet to be determined.
Great job of coaching. There's Jeff Dart shaking the hands of the opposition. We earlier saw Coach Milne also doing it for Muhlenburg. And there's good sportsmanship at the end of this game, because the score could have been very different. It ends up being 49-7 Mount Union, and they advance, and they will take on the John Carroll Blue Streaks in the next round of the NCAA playoffs. Again, you can't say enough about the quarterbacking of Maloney, but you can't also say enough about the line that protected him and the receivers who did a great job, and the running backs. There's just a balanced performance, both offensively and defensively, and special teams for Mount Union as they put this one in the win column. So 49-7 our final. We'll be back with stats and highlights. But first, let's pause. Now back at Kara Stadium, the fans filing out, players returning to the locker room. Mount with the victory, 49-7, and they advance to the next round of the NCAA playoffs. They'll play John Carroll next Saturday at noon. Site to be determined, but more than likely, with Mount being, one of the seeds, the high seeds, will get the opportunity to host. But that could be different. We don't know that for sure. But let's look at some highlights of the second half, in particular, as Mikey Maloney continued his winning ways, hooking up with Nick Turner. That one for a 30-yard touchdown grab. Sean Thomas, who made an appearance primarily in the second half with a good strong game, got into the end zone as well. And Mahaffey went in from 1 yard out to ruin the shutout and get Muhlenburg on the board. But that was in the third quarter. Fourth quarter was scoreless, and Mount Union prevailed. So here are the statistics. Mount with 305 yards passing. Muhlenburg with 112, 91 yards to 225 on the ground. Good job there of not having a lot of penalties. 3 for 15 for Mount, 1 for 10 for Muhlenburg. Just one turnover, and it was costly for Muhlenberger. It was an interception by Thrasivolu. And then time of possession, Mount had the advantage, 33:07 to 26:53. Jeff, couldn't ask for more. It was perfect, near perfect performance by Mount Union.
Yeah, statistics bear it out, and what an effort by Mount Union's quarterback in the first half. Running, throwing. The offense was sitting on all cylinders after a 2-week hiatus. You didn't know how slow they'd be to start. They weren't, and they're ready for next week.
And of course, an outstanding game from Davion Grant, as he caught 8 passes, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns. There's the bracket as it now exists, as the Purple Raiders won and John Carroll won, and we know there have been some great games between these two teams down through the years, and next week could be another one. You never know. John Carroll moving into the North Coast Conference. They won it. They won their conference and then earned the right to play Mount Union, if you will, as they beat Randolph-Macon. Mount, meanwhile, beats Muhlenburg here at Kara Stadium 49-7, and that about does it. Speaking for the Sports Information Director for the University of Mount Union, Nate LaRisha, for Dean Marini, the captain of the Image Video crew, and for Jeff Shreve, I'm Harry Paytas saying so long, everybody, from Alliance.